Before I continue on this Pitt love affair, from a personal note, I got to tell you, it's a huge thrill for me tonight. I was a broadcaster my whole life because I wasn't talented enough to make it to the collegiate or the NFL level playing ball, but I played sports since I was knee-high to a grasshopper. And one of my earliest heroes who was not on the field, was in the broadcast booth, was Curt Gowdy. My second favorite announcer, as I grew up and really fell in love with all the Pittsburgh teams, is here tonight to celebrate all these Pitt guys. How about a round of applause for the legendary, recently retired, and the great Bill Hillgrove. Bill Hillgrove is here tonight. Look at Bill. Man, that guy is the voice of Pittsburgh sports. We love you, Bill. We love you, brother. There are so many Pitt people here. Bill came here to support all of them, as well as Tomasevich, he told me. Hey, it's rare when a coach can change a major aspect of his or her sport, but our next inductee did just that. When a lot of us were very, very young, the NBA back then, everybody in the NBA, they played 4 years of college, so they didn't need a lot of whole personal instruction. And a lot of the NBA coaches back then, they maybe had one assistant coach because they didn't need it. Maybe they had two. And then Tim Grgurich entered the NBA. And the reason why he changed it was that 45 minutes before tip, those college guys that played 4 years, they were out there in layup lines like they were in high school. And the big guys were always jacking up three-pointers because they knew they weren't allowed to do that in the game, right? And then next thing you know, guys start coming out of college after junior year, sophomore year. A lot of them come out after freshman year. Now a handful of them come out straight from high school. So they needed that added instruction. And in those 45 minutes, Tim Grgurich turned it into individual improvement and last-minute game time preparation. Now you look at an NBA game, there are 8 or 9 assistants behind the bench on every NBA, and half of them are nowhere near as talented as Tim Grgurich. The NBA awarded him the Tex Winter Assistant Coach Lifetime Impact Award. That is the kind of impact that man had on the NBA. The great coaches, whether it's Chuck Noll or John Wooden or Dean Smith, they all considered themselves teachers. Tim Grgurich, he taught basketball. He was a legend in the NBA. Rick Carlisle, when the Mavericks won their only NBA title, I got to read it. Here's what their head coach said, quote, "Tim is the greatest assistant coach in the history of basketball, and it's not even close." Jason Kidd was the all-star point guard on that team, on that championship team, one of the best point guards in the NBA history. He is now the head coach of the Mavs, and he had this to say about Tim. Okay, we're crashing and burning. It's there, it's coming, I promise you. Thank you, Tim. Well, we're queuing that out. Let me tell you what, I was out in Denver with the Nuggets for a couple years, and George Karl got hired out there. And so I sent him on Twitter, I sent him a note. I said, "Coach," I said, "we're inducting Tim Grgurich. You got something for me?" He goes, "Let me tell you something. Tim is so revered in the NBA." He goes, "I hired him everywhere I was." George Karl hired him, Seattle, Milwaukee, and Denver. Isn't that right? He just kept hiring Tim Grgurich because he knew. Before he made it to the NBA, he was in college as well. Those great UNLV running Rebel teams under Jerry Tarkanian, who do you think taught those guys how to play defense? Tim Grgurich did. And before he went out to Vegas, he was right here at Pitt, longtime assistant, and then the head coach of the Panthers. Now, I can sit here and give you statistics, numbers, years that he was there at Pitt, but why would I do that when you have the greatest basketball to ever play for the Pitt Panthers, the greatest basketball player right there? Come on up here. Here's my man. When I got the job with the Hawks, he was general manager of the Atlanta Hawks. The great Billy Knight is here to help bring in Tim and has a couple of words to say about his whole coach.
Well, let's see. I'm glad this microphone is adjustable. We all love Coach Gerg, and I'm speaking on behalf of all of Gerg's guys. Those are all Gerg's guys here. These are all Gerg's guys. Raise your hand, guys. We're all Gerg's guys. Sure, Coach Gerg, he was our coach. Sure, he was our coach, but he was our friend, he was our confidant, and he was also, would help us with women from time to time. Of course, he'd always tell us, whenever we'd ask for suggestions or opinions or help, he'd say, I'll talk to you about it tomorrow. And then he'd go home and talk to Kathy about it. Because he didn't know anything. He was finding out from her. I'm sure. He was getting all the info from Kathy. Because every time, I'll talk to you tomorrow. But he did so much for us on the court and off the court. He molded us as players, of course. He worked us, ran the stadium steps, ran the tower steps. I can remember hearing him say, you scored some points, but you still haven't really played good D yet. You haven't played the D I'd like you to play. And I learned later what to say in response to that. Coach, we still got to outscore our opponents, don't we? We still got to score more points. So we go back and forth about that, but we love Coach Gerg. He's done so much for us, and we appreciate him. He's still our confidant, he's still our friend, and he's still our coach in life. We have a saying that is used sometimes. I know the players that I played with, Mickey, Kirk, Tom Booth was our manager. They say that the only thing Coach Gerg would say to them was, give the ball to Mooney, give the ball to Mooney, give the ball to Mooney. But there was a different way to say it. I don't need no pick, I don't need no play, give me the ball and get out the way. That's another way you could say it. Coach did so much for us that we never forget the things that he taught us. He taught us to work hard, be loyal, be patient, be someone that can be trusted, and be a good family man. So those are the things that I remember Coach instilling in us. There's a line that's well known. A person comes into your life. When you meet someone, they come into your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. Coach Gerg has come into our lives for a lifetime. He'll be with us forever. Thank you, Coach.
Billy's as smooth in front of a microphone as he was with a ball in his hands out on the court, I can tell you that. Tim, why don't you come on up and welcome us. Let's welcome you into the Croatian American Sports Hall of Fame.
Gerg, congratulations. Croatia Hall of Fame in Pittsburgh. Only you. You've had an impact on all of us, especially me, not just as a coach, but as a player a long, long time ago. I would like to thank you for your hard work and telling me the truth always. Congratulations to you and your family on the Hall of Fame.
Sure. How about if we all stand up and give him a standing ovation? We need to stand up. Everybody stand up. Get a stretch. Everybody get a stretch.
He's still coaching.
No. Hey, Matt, could you come up, please? Could you come up, please? Come on up here, please. Hey, Moon. God bless, man. I want everyone to know that the only reason I'm standing here tonight because of Matt Frajanic and his influence on the committee. And Matt talked to all the folks who made the inductions. Matt, where are you going? Come back. You're a coach. Come on. Made all the
I have to listen to you after all these years.
introduction to all the people. I want to congratulate all the inductees, congratulate all the committee people. Thank you. I'd like to say one thing. John, some of the folks who already spoke, John, Jim, Janice, who we talked last night, Ralph Stoddard, they made the biggest thing about tonight, family. They talked about family. They talked about all the folks who came from the old country, all the folks who came from whatever country you came from. And if you think about it, your grandma or grandpa, great-grandma, grandpa, your mom and dad, can you imagine getting onto a boat, have no idea where you're going? Okay, when you get there, you don't know anyone. Think about the language. Think about the education. And for Western Pennsylvania, I'd say most of the people from the countries in Yugoslavia either worked in the coal mines or the steel mills. And you think about your pop working in Heppenstall's steel mill in Lawrenceville for 50 years, walking, every morning, you walk 10 minutes and going into the mill. Or all you guys that lived out in Novella and Redstone and all those places, you went into the coal mines. Just think about that. And when you think about that and look where we are right now, take a look at each other. Most of us went to school. I know my folks didn't go to school. Timo Grgurich and Anna Marie Wookitz, no education. Okay. And think about all of us right here and what they all did for us. And you all set the table tonight on everything you say. I can't match you on what you say. Coaches or teachers, one sitting right in front of me, great competitor. We fought each other in the NBA. They won a couple championships, we won a couple championships. One thing Rudy and the head coaches in the NBA can do, they can, what Billy Knight had mentioned, they can handle players. They can handle men, they're teachers. Players do not forget them. They remember who their coaches are, even though you hear all the commentators on TV, don't believe most of them. Stephen A. Smith is the worst, okay? All right, so don't believe anything. This is who you believe. Billy Knight, thank you, as always. Billy couldn't guard me, okay? If you want to get a triple-double, that's who you pass to, okay? He would get you a triple-double. But the Zivic family, can you all please stand up? Okay, please. I grew up in we live 10 minutes from here. Stokins, Zivics, Grguriches, Simsiks, Brozoviches, Dukoviches. We all live 10 minutes from here in a place called Lawrenceville, between 47th Street and 50th, between the river and the steel mills and Butler Street. Stokins was right here. That was a bar. And Zivics was right there. And Jerome said, Lawrenceville, you had to fight your way out. Well, I lost my sport coat going between Stokins and Zivics today. I had to fight my way through it. So they took my sport coat. So I remember, I was in your bars. I'm going to kind of cut this short because this is the most important thing for me being here tonight with all you folks from where I'm from. My family was from. I've never been overseas, so I don't know all the ins and outs about Croatia, Serbia, Slovakia, Slovenia. Had players, so as coach, he has had players from those countries. Could you guys all please stand up, please? All the guys from Pitt, please stand up. Mark May, back in the day, saw him on TV, all the nice things. There was one night down in Oakland when they won a big game, and he and about 4 other linemen went through a parking lot on the roofs of the cars. So on Sunday, they called all the basketball and football guys in with all the police, and there they were, right there. Please stand up, guys. Okay, my family, some came from Las Vegas, some live in Pittsburgh. They're all at the tables right here. Could you all please stand up? Thank you. Please stand up and get the second table. Everybody stand up. You guys all came with me, please. Okay, I guess what I'm trying to say, and Coach could say the same thing. When you're a coach and a teacher, Pete Knoll, old-time coach, probably the greatest teacher we ever had, everybody gets a piece of you. Everybody in this group right here, whatever little thing they have right here, you're a piece of that. Whatever I do, you're a piece of that. All my family, Kath. And we all say, Kath, God bless her. She's in heaven. She's all in heaven. Okay, your daughter Jennifer, my second family, the Wicketses, are right in there, and all my girls right here, Jane, Linda. And I like to say one thing. If you could just kind of close your eyes and put your head down. We had a very, very, very close friend who just passed away. His name was Billy Shea, probably the greatest coaching human being. We went to school together, coached 50 years at a junior college, and his family came tonight. And I just wanted you all to say a little whatever, something, because he changed my life. He changed my life. I wouldn't be here. These guys wouldn't be here. So, but again, I just like to give you all everything. Hey, just thank you. This wouldn't have happened without you, okay? All right, thank you. And I would say the same thing, all the family, John, Janice, the Sindriches, okay, Bill Freilich's family, everybody. I'd like to give everybody a hand, okay? That's great, great, great call. I'm just happy to be here. It's great coming back to Pittsburgh. If you've ever been to Lawrenceville lately, I think I was on Mars today. Okay? The Strip, you got knocked out every time you walked through the Strip back then. Now the whole country walks through. They're all happy as can be. Okay, but Lawrenceville was different, and we went down there today, and God bless them. I'm very happy for the city. But thank you all. Thank you very much. Okay.
Get him in the middle. Coach, not one picture in the middle. One picture, and when you stand in the middle. Hold these guys out there. Give space. Don't crowd here. Point guard. All right.
Anybody that doesn't think coaches impact people's lives, look at that crowd here to support Gert. That's fantastic.